So welcome to Game Plan Sunday. Today is April 25th, 2021, last week of the month. And had a pretty interesting week in the markets last week. For the most part, the markets were actually doing pretty good until your boy Joe Beasy came through and wrecked the markets at the end. So if you take a look here at the indices right here, this is how we ended the week. The Russell 2000 was the only thing that was positive, looking pretty good. Next runner up was gold, negative 0.03%. The SPX was negative 0.13%. NASDAQ, negative 0.25%. Dow Jones, negative 0.46%. And the US dollar was negative 0.77%. Oil was down negative 1.70%. And Bitcoin, for the loser of the week, negative 18.59%, almost 20% in one damn week. That's a shitload of bricks that they shit over there, okay? That's crazy. Looking at the sector here, the sectors, real estate was up 2.3%. Healthcare was up 1.81%. Industrials was up 0.42%. Materials up 0.30%. Everything else is in the red here slightly. Financials are slightly. Consumer staples slightly. Technology, energy was down, negative 1.78. So that's how we were looking with the sectors and the indices. So, and a lot of that came from the pain that was delivered by our man, President Joe Biden, with this tax proposal situation here. So we got the tax proposals from the Biden administration that will be possibly revealed this week, but a lot of talk about it has spooked the markets. Now, the crazy thing to me is that Wall Street already knew what time it was when Biden came into the office. I mean, that was the whole, one of the main oppositions of Biden's Biden presidency was that, he's going to, be, anti-corporate friendly. He's going to, tax the hell out of them, because he's got a lot of social spending to do, and all kind of laws and things like that are just all distorted because of COVID. So everything is blamed on COVID. This gives the government the ability to expand its powers because people are so afraid of COVID. They say, hey, just let the government do what they're going to do, right? Forget about the Constitution and all of that, right? Forget about all of that. Let's let them spin it all up. But see, there's nothing that happens without consequences. Every action, there's going to be a consequence or reward. There's going to be something that has to take place. And even when you reward someone, sometimes you have to punish someone to reward someone. So we're just taking a view at it from an economic perspective of, okay, this is what's going to actually probably happen more than likely. So anyway, the markets already knew this situation when they nominated Biden. But for some odd reason, they were under the illusion that, he was going to be in check. They didn't think that the Democrats was going to do a full sweep. And so they was like, okay, his tax proposal is going to be dead on arrival. Okay. Now they're coming, closer to fruition. And should these things come into fruition, it's going to be, catastrophic on investment in the U.S. All right. So you're basically looking at the decline of the great empire. OK, the U.S. is going downhill from here. Biden come through with these taxes. This is going to be, it's going to wreck, the economy. OK, these companies, corporations, they're already leaving now. OK, so they're going to be taking flight. Now, what they're trying to do is to, correlate their efforts across the world using the International Monetary Fund, using the World Bank, using all these global, government facilities to go around the world and to influence other nations to increase their taxes. Because that's what typically what happens is that the government intervenes. Entrepreneurs, they have a goal, and that's to just generate, value to consumers to make a profit for themselves by doing so. And if they can't, they're going to move. I mean, it's just natural. OK, so but what they're trying to do is block them and corner them off so that they can't leave the country, because you're still gonna be facing the same thing. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen, who was at the World Economic Forum. We just had that in the IMF meetings last month. So you guys probably haven't been paying attention, but some of us were. And a lot of those videos are on our website here. But anyway, they're trying to corner off corporations by not allowing them to be able to move. So this is really not business friendly, I must say. So anyway, the stock market puked because of, the more talks of this, but the stock market fake as hell because they already knew this shit from the beginning. Before Biden even came in, this is what it was going to be. Okay. They had Trump and they had Biden. They chose Biden over Trump. And that's, they already knew that this was going to happen. So why all of a sudden are the markets puking now? Why all of a sudden now? You got to be asking these questions, man. It's always painting a narrative. Okay. So somebody going to have to pay for all this spending. All right. When you take a look here, they're talking about raising corporate tax rates to 28% from 21%. It may not seem big to you guys. It's actually a huge leap, although it was 28% before, but it dropped down. So 7 points is it's going to have a major impact on corporations' earnings. When you take a look at their financials, okay, taxes if you take a look at the statements, when you're doing financial models, taxes, very sensitive, okay? The slightest moves in there can really do some damage. So you're talking about 7%, yeah, that's going to be some damage. You got to understand, years prior, all these corporations were excited about Trump's tax cuts. They didn't want to accept Trump publicly because, Trump is loudmouth and Trump could be bad news because people don't like Trump just because they don't like him. But these corporations was loving this low tax rate policies, okay? That's how they was able to stretch their dollars because of that. Trump did a favor for the corporations. You got to understand that. So, but the corporations tossed him to get Biden because Biden is going to do some other favors for them. And I think that they think that, the tax laws, you got to remember, they're created by businessmen for businessmen. And so throughout history, these corporations normally don't pay these taxes anyway. Okay. It's the government. So for the print that, we're going to do this to these people, but with the loopholes and all that in there, they normally get away with it. All right. So maybe that's what that's what I was thinking when Wall Street was like, okay, they're going to take Biden over Trump. Like, okay, how y'all going to get through this? Maybe they think they're going to be able to defer those taxes or find some kind of loopholes to get through them. So now it seems like it's coming closer to fruition. So now they're shaking in the boots, right? He's talking about raising capital gains tax on $1 million earners, expanding the state tax, and pair tax easing for pass-through companies. So all of this here is business friendly. Okay, somebody got to pay. They want to spend all this money on childcare and all this other stuff that he has going on with his plans. Somebody got to pay, and it's going to be those with capital gains and stuff like that. So, but you got to understand, nobody knows when it's going to play out. They're thinking it's going to be next year. Now, this could cause a lot of selling in the markets today, because why in the hell would you wait to take your profits when he passed this thing and you're going to get ate up? Okay. I've seen in New York, they're talking about 52.2%. Okay. California, 56.7%. These are the taxes that they're going to have in those states. Okay. So can you imagine you make some money over here in the markets and they're going to tax you 56%? I mean, that's over half of what you made. You had to be an outright idiot to wait to cash out. So I think that, should this come to pass, we're going to see a lot more selling in the markets. Okay. And that may be the turn from these crazy highs in the markets is just, with these tax increases. This is really crazy. Here you got his American Families Plan is the name of it. Some proposals included in the plan have already been announced as part of Biden's broader infrastructure push. Biden split his infrastructure package into two parts. The first, called the American Jobs Plan, totals roughly $2.5 trillion and is focused on traditional infrastructure such as roads, bridges, and electric grids. It's a whole lot more pork in that, though. So understand, we talked about that weeks ago. The second package is expected to total at least $1 trillion and will focus on child care, paid family leave, universal pre-kindergarten, and free community college. The proposed capital gains tax increase is one way that Biden expects to fund the spending. Okay. So this is, again, when you have a lot of animosity that comes between the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots, because the government is going to straight up, that's what they're trying to do. All right. So that is not going to be positive on the markets. OK. And with all the economic data that we have coming out here now, you guys can see these are a couple of videos here. Rising mortgage rates. So I'm putting it into this housing market that's going crazy high. Sales of new homes. This is Danielle DiMartino Booth. And this is right here on the site as well. You guys can check that video out. But homes are selling like crazy. Okay. And these home prices are crazy high. Unlike 2008, we had, houses prices that went down, they deflated. But the feds, they won't allow the economy to deflate. They're trying to create inflation and keeping everything up. Cheap money and all of this is causing crazy bubbles. Okay, so it's a huge debate now. Is the housing market in a bubble? You got some people that are saying it's not, some people that are saying that it is. It is a bubble, okay? Trust and believe me. We never got prices that deflated. Prices are out of this world on houses, and they continue to go. For the past few months, we've been seeing when the Feds was talking crap about, inflation, we was telling you, okay, inflation is coming. We saw it ahead of time. So the inflation is in everything, in the first order goods, the raw goods, timber. We just took a look at lumber. Lumber prices look like a Bitcoin chart. That's the price of wood. You need wood to build homes. All that material that you need to build homes, all that stuff is going sky high. Okay. And then you have so many distortions in the economy. That's why so much debate, because everybody's trying to figure it out, but we haven't never seen an economy like this ever. Okay. So what's interesting is that you have a lot of people that's moving out of big cities like New York and California. So a lot of them moving out and they're coming down south, and they come down south. They have lots of homes that are cheap down here because we're in a remote working economy now, where a lot of people are able to work from home now. They can, transfer, their New York salaries or California salaries with a cost of living or somewhere down south like Georgia or North Carolina or Florida or Texas. Texas got a crazy housing market down there, and they're getting like a lot of people coming down there bidding up the prices of homes. And so that makes it hard for people in the economy to be able to afford homes because they're getting outbid by a lot of, people that's migrating to the area. Furthermore, also, I've been seeing that they have a lot of pension funds, Wallstreet buying homes. You have, Wall Street landlords out here in the market. And I was listening to The Hill, and they were saying how this is catastrophic because you can't compete with pension funds. They're buying homes and you're trying to buy them. You can't win. They have unlimited cash. And they were buying homes. They are buying homes with cash money, where most people are trying to get mortgages. And they was talking about a house that was just terrible in Maryland. I think like $200,000. It's a house built in the 40s, hasn't had any work done on it. The real estate listing said, don't walk on a patio. That's how bad this house is, because you'll fall through the patio. So they haven't done any work since the 40s, and this house is selling over $200,000. Anyway, they saying that I think they ended up selling it for $400,000 cash, and they had higher offers on the homes, but, whoever bought the home, they had the cash. So that's crazy. We're seeing that happening in the market. And so it's a huge debate where people are asking, I've seen several shows with several people talking about these homes, from Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank to Dave Ramsey to all of these guys who are talking about these homes. And, a lot of people are like, hey, should I sell? Yeah, it's a seller's market. But then on the other end, should I go and buy another home, or should I wait till the housing market come down? And I think like the Google search terms, like if you Google search trends, it's like super trending. Like people are really asking about the housing market bubble. Is it going to crash now? Like this is how bad things are, when people are not able to get into these homes. You got to understand the price of these homes, they continue to go up. It's going to disqualify people from being able to get into these homes. So their loan to value is going to disqualify people. So it makes it really hard for new people coming into the market to try to get these homes. So this is a development that we'll keep our eyes on. I'm still learning it. So whatever value you guys have to add to it, whatever you see in your markets, make sure you post it in our news feed. We're all studying, classes in session. You feel me? The coming oil shortage. So again, these are two articles here, part 1 and part 2, that's posted on the website. You guys can check that out. Talking about Saudi, talking about the oil shortages. Again, supply and demand, just like we saw with the houses. There's a shortage of supply, and there's a demand for homes that is crazy. Okay. Same thing with oil, so shortages creates the price that goes up. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. Special report, giant U.S. landlords pursue eviction despite CDC ban. This is an interesting one too. Check this one out. They're talking about people that are actually starting to get evicted despite the ban. Now, the U.S., Biden's plans has actually been keeping a lot of people from being, getting evicted from their homes and stuff like that, with the mortgage moratoriums, rent moratoriums and stuff like that. So I believe he's going to keep that on for a while here. Let's see here. Yep, Keith came through, bless us with that. Check this out. I know this week I had a little session. This was inspired by Mark talking about doing a session where we could have study sessions on the website. Now, again, I hope you guys really appreciate the value that we have on the website. It takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, time. I do a lot of the stuff myself until we get big enough and we can hire people to assist, but we're not there yet. So right now, it's a lot of work that comes on me to do this, but I really build a lot for you guys that you can't get nowhere else. Really, you can't. And we own and control our entire process on this website. So anyway, we have a fundamentals group right here on the website. And again, this came from Mark. He's on here today and he brought this up, said, hey, man, we should have study groups. Mark is, he's focused on his long-term portfolio, want to do some research to find out, hey, what are good stocks that I need to be buying for the long term? Forget all the intraday, day trade and such type stuff. We need to do some studies. And like I told you guys before, man, there's no lone wolves on Wall Street. Wall Street have teams of analysts that are combing through all of this. And you are a fool if you think you're going to be doing this alone. You need to have a team. That's why I built Wallstreet Jackboyz. It wasn't for me trying to be the damn genius. I can't see it all. You feel me? I can't see it all. But if we can come together, we could be like our own fund. You feel me? We have our own analysts, everybody. That's why we got all these groups in here. But it's important that you show up on the website and contribute and network with other people, okay? All these other people, you'd be amazed at who you will meet here. We got a lot of people that's in real estate. We got people that's in IT. We got people that's in finance. We got people all over. You need to be on the website. Stop trying to preach to people on Facebook. I done told you guys the IQ level of people on Facebook are, that's why you don't see the big wiz on Facebook talking and preaching to people on Facebook, okay? People who waste a lot of money trying to promote on Facebook. That's why I don't do ads. It's a waste of money. On Twitter, I'm talking to the big names. They talking to me on Twitter. That's where the big wiz are. So the gurus, they're on Twitter. I'm telling you right now, that's the fastest information. When you want the information like this, it's on Twitter. It's not on Facebook. Facebook is full of garbage, okay? So try to spend more time here on Wallstreet Jackboyz. It's mobile friendly. If you have a phone, we don't even need an app. I mean, I want to have an app. And to tell you the truth, I almost paid to get the app last month, but I wasn't seeing enough interaction from you guys. So if I get enough, then it'll influence me to go ahead and make that investment. But I don't see enough people here. I'm like, okay, am I wasting my time, my money, and all this? No, like this site is beautiful. It's better than everything that's in the market, and it's for you guys. So definitely take advantage of it. Anyway, that's my spill on that. And so basically, that's right. Teamwork makes the dream work. So anyway, I have Zoom that's built into the website here for you guys, okay? So I know you guys like using Zoom, so I built it into the website. Let me actually just go to one of the groups. I'm gonna go to the sidebar, to the fundamentals, so I can show you guys this real quick, okay? This is something I tried to do last week because Mark, suggested it, and it didn't work out because nobody showed up, but Chris showed up. One person showed up, okay? I was like, you know what, let's just reschedule this for another time because I don't know if you guys are getting the invitations. Okay, we have an email system here. The website sends invitations out to you guys. So if you're in the group, so you come and join the group, it's free, okay? You join the group here. And you can post things in particular to whatever it is that they're checking out. And I'll show you guys some stuff that Topaz, she just posted today, so I can show you guys that. But here, I can go and create Zoom meetings right here, boom, into the website. And you can host meetings right here within our website. So we got Zoom that's built into certain groups. So we'll try this again. I don't know when, but next time I'll make sure to send it through our email system so that you guys, make sure that you get it and then invite somebody else. Okay. Invite somebody, just bring somebody. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Like bring them over. Okay. Everybody else, again, they charging for this stuff on these other websites. We have much more value and it's not costing you anything. So, if you want to, promote Wallstreet Jackboyz, just invite somebody else and share my content. Okay, it takes time to edit videos and chop stuff up. Y'all share every damn thing else on Facebook. Why haven't you shared one video from Wallstreet Jackboyz? Come on, if we're gonna get popping, it's gonna take a grassroots effort before we start putting money into marketing because you're gonna blow money. It's all about tricking the algorithms about what's popping. All you need to do is like and comment on whatever video is posted. So when this come out, although you guys are here live, go back when we edit or when we publish it tonight and just hit the like button and then leave a little comment. That artificial intelligence don't know what kind of content, it's just know that activity is there. And once it sees activity is there, it'll start to promote it to other people who wouldn't see it otherwise. Okay, so that's my ask for you guys. If you want to give back, that's how you can give back. Like the videos, leave some kind of comment. I usually ask a question. You can leave a comment on that question. Okay. And here's Topaz. He posted right here. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. We have an IPO group for those people that's focused on IPOs. This is Topaz. This is her profile here. And Topaz, she's a hustler, okay? So I don't want to hear nobody talking about you don't have time, because if ain't nobody got no time, it's Topaz. She from here to damn Belize. Listen, me and Topaz, we go way back, but she is a busy woman. Trust and believe me, and she has the time to come here to bless the site for you guys, so you guys know what's going on. So anyway, she posted in the IPO group, and you can look right here. It's right here on the website, IPO. You go in there if you're interested in the IPOs, and she's giving you guys a heads up on the latest IPOs that's dropping. Okay, so shout out and thank you, Topaz, for participating. I like to see this level of participation from the rest of you guys. Okay, so this is from Topaz feed right here on the IPO. So make sure you guys check that out. The residential sales, again, we saw that data that's going up. All right, I'll just show you guys that really quick. Okay, from the crash, boom, Fed intervention, boom. People are trying to buy houses like crazy. Hot market. All right, unemployment numbers. So unemployment numbers came out actually pretty good. Under 600 finally, 600,000 finally. Now, the question is, how long is this going to stay? Because I believe we still have over 17.4 million people that is collecting some type of unemployment right now. So these levels are still extremely high. Okay, we need to get these things down to about 200,000. Okay, they're still extremely high. All right, and the question is, how long can we keep this? Keep this up. So, but as of right now, jobs are opening up. We have job galore. I posted a picture. I think I was at like Burger King. They had a little sign up there that was asking people to be gracious of their people that are working. They may be short staffed because they can't get enough people that will stay and keep these jobs, because their unemployment is paying them more than these jobs will pay. So it's a job boom. There's a lot of jobs that are open, but if people will make more money from the Fed intervention, the government intervention, then they're going to collect unemployment. Okay, they're not going to go to work. This is problematic because we can't, you don't have enough workers to help, entrepreneurs to produce goods and services. And remember, I tell you guys all this all the time. People don't want money. Okay, I had this conversation with my son. He said, I want to be rich. I want to have all the money. Okay, I'm like, no, you don't want money. You want what money can buy you. And then when I told him that, he's like, yeah, you're right. Okay. So I'm like, well, if I gave you everything that you want, would you still want money? No, because you already got everything you want. So people want goods and services, and growth of a country is based off of what it produces. In America, we're not producing nothing, man. We're importing a lot of the things. So we're making other nations rich, and while we become poorer at this state, because we are a service economy, no longer a production economy. And the baby boomers were the cream of the crop. Trust and believe me. Okay. And a lot of their wealth is in the stock market, in real estate. Okay. And so, our generation, the kids and all, like, listen, these kids, I mean, they are just, they're royally fucked. I mean, I don't know what other way to tell you. And it's crazy. When we all grew up, and you guys know this, when we all grew up, we were some hustlers. Every last one of you guys was some hustlers. Okay. I already know. I don't even know you, but I know you was a hustler, okay? Because we ain't had shit else to do but to hustle when we were kids. We wasn't playing video games all day. We had video games, but nobody was stuck playing video games all day, okay? Because we didn't even have like the internet like that. You feel me? So one of my first jobs when I was a kid was, nobody told me to do it. I had a lawnmower. I took my mom's lawnmower and I went through the neighborhood and I was knocking on the doors. Hey, sir, can I cut your grass? And they were like, how much you charge? I'm like, man, $10. They were like, that's not enough. Here, take $20 and cut my grass. Listen, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life and will always be. I try to teach these principles to my kids, okay? And all these kids lack creativity on how to make money, okay? I'm like, listen, you want to make some money now? The first thing the kids say, I'm going to get a job. Why? Why would you go do that? You don't have bills. You don't need a job. Well, I want money. they're not even creative enough to know that they can make money in other ways. One of my friends, he's a famous cartoonist. He's working for Marvel. He's one of my best friends. Used to be one of my artists when I was in the music game and stuff. And this guy, he makes money drawing pictures. I mean, he's always been doing that since we were in the music industry. He makes $100 a page. I mean, he does Marvel, Spider-Man. He works at DreamWorks. You know, he's in Hollywood now. He's one of my best friends. You know, I tell my son, listen, you have, you know, cars that's out here because what season? It's pollen season, right? Pollen season, okay? Pollen all over the place. Your car is covered in pollen down south, right? I'm like, why don't you go to the neighbors' houses and ask them if you can wash their cars? Okay, listen, that'll save them money. They don't have to go to Auto Bell or some other place. You charge a little cheaper than what they would pay other places, and you can make some money right there. I used some friends. I used to have my little brother and my little sister with me helping me cut grass. We was making so much money, my mom would come and try to cut the grass with us. We had, people who had big hills in their backyards, and I'm up there struggling, trying to push the lawnmower. My mom come down the street. Boy, you can't push that long. Let me get that. I'm like, nah, mom, move. I don't want you taking my cut because my mom she's a gangster. She's a hustler. So she coming to help. She ain't helping for free. So I don't want her help. You ain't gonna get my cut, mom. Man, I sold candy when I was in school. I was a candy man. My mom was a candy lady, okay? My mom ain't worked a job in forever, okay? But that's what she made a living selling candy to everybody in the neighborhood. And I got mad because she didn't want to give me candy for free. She was like, well, you going to pay for this candy like everybody else. So one day she messed around and gave me $5. I took that $5 and bought more candy. I went to the school and I started selling candy to everybody in the school. Man, I was going to school with two book bags. Flipped that $5. I was making my own money. So this is the creativity that we're lacking today. And if the kids today are responsible for our future, we're fucked. So we have to get these kids to think productivity, creativity. They want to sit around and play video games all day. Listen, forget playing video games all day. How about make video games, okay? You got the young kid, Ryan, this guy, he's like the richest kid ever. You know, they just sitting, this guy literally plays with toys on YouTube and he makes millions of dollars, okay? It's no excuse, all right? So you got to have that creativity. Anyway, that's my spiel. Right. I want to go over this with you guys real quick. This right here was the Barron Spring Big Money Poll. Okay. Let me actually see if I can go through it. All right. This is from Barron's. These are the smart money. Okay. So I'll just go with you guys to see what they're talking about. They gave this poll out, and this is what smart money is saying. Describe your investment outlook for U.S. equities in the next 12 months. Well, majority of them said they are bullish in the next 12 months. And 67%, no, that's bullish. Okay. And then I don't know what percentage this is, but it's much smaller for neutral. And then the least amount of people are bearish. So optimism continues. These are some levels here for the major indices for 2021 in December. They got the Dow Jones at 32,000. You got the S&P 500 at 4,200, NASDAQ at 14,000. Okay. That's the bullish outlook. And then they got bearish outlooks. Okay, is the U.S. stock market overvalued, undervalued, or fairly valued at current levels? Overvalue is down here in the red. Undervalue is right here in the middle, which is the least. And then fairly value is right here at the top. So we got majority of these fund managers are saying that they believe the market is fairly valued. I don't know what the hell they're looking at, but this market is extremely overvalued. If you answer overvalued, by how much is the market overvalued? So this is for people that answered that it was overvalued. And we got majority of them says it's overvalued by more than 15%. Okay. So again, back to what I was saying before, what the hell is those other guys talking about? Because these people that says overvalued, they're not saying it's overvalued by a small percentage. They say it's overvalued by more than 15%. Okay. So that means that it needs to correct. What will U.S. equities return on an average annualized basis over the next decade? Over the next, decade here, 64% equities. All right. So the best money in town still is stocks right now. Okay. So that's what they're saying. 64%. That's where you should have your money at. Are your clients bullish, bearish, or neutral about U.S. stocks? So this is their clients. Their clients are majority neutral. Okay. People are so distorted right now. Nobody knows what to expect. And then the next level is bullish. The least amount of people are bearish. What is the biggest risk to the U.S. stock market in the next 12 months? This is interesting here. The biggest risk to the stock market in the next 12 months, rising interest rates. 20% of the participants in the big money poll said rising interest rates is the biggest risk to the stock market. Not no COVID, not nothing else, but interest rates. We've been covering this for like a whole year. So if you don't have it, I hope you guys understand. Go back and watch all the Wall Street Jackboyz videos. You can watch them on YouTube. COVID is the second level here. Higher taxes is the third level here. Inflation is the fourth level here. Now, you got to understand that rising interest rates only rise if inflation gets too hot. Okay. So inflation we're at 2.6% right now, according to the CPI. The real numbers is probably a lot higher than 2.6, but you got to remember Jerome Powell, and they want consistent 2% or higher over a longer time frame. So that means people are going to have to, feel the pain of inflation before the Feds decide to raise rates. But you got to understand, these guys are calling Powell a bluff, and they're believing that, hey, interest rates are going to have to rise, B. So that is the major risk that we almost, pay attention to. Let's see. Which asset class do you consider most attractive today? Equities. All right. You can see that here. Let's skip that top question because, again, equities, you can't make no money in bonds. Cash is trash. And gold is teeter-tottering, just like other stuff right here or whatever. So most of these guys, they are here. They really don't understand these precious metals and stuff like that. But anyway, so equities is the most attractive today. Commodities, okay? Now, I don't know why commodities is not number one, because we've been seeing commodities going crazy. Look at the price of corn, the price of lumber, the price of copper. All these things are what people need, the raw goods that people need to make things with. Those prices are increasing. Those prices will be passed down to everybody else. Real estate next, gold, cash, bonds, and then cryptocurrencies. Damn, they got cryptocurrencies like pretty much trash here, which I think that's interesting because a lot of these guys, they've been pumping cryptocurrency. You can't even watch YouTube without a cryptocurrency commercial showing up on your radar. They've been pumping crypto. So anyway, interesting. Okay, so emerging markets, okay, they're basically saying a lot of money is going out of the U.S., okay? You want international companies because the U.S. under Biden is going to have these unfriendly business policies, whereas these other countries, they have lower tax rates and stuff like that. So, big companies and corporations, they'll be shipping those jobs overseas, okay? So a lot of money is going over overseas in emerging markets. Let me try to get through this a little faster here. I know we're at time. Value stock. Here we go. This is my man, Mark. We had this conversation. In each category, which equity investment will perform best in the next month? Debate. Value stocks versus growth stocks. Value stocks, big red right there. So big money is expecting value stocks to have this reversal and to start to make some moves now. Growth stocks are stupid expensive right now. It's ridiculous. But hey, who cares, right? These guys don't care. Which industry sector will perform best in the next 12 months? We got financials, technology, energy, industrials, and materials. So financial stocks is what they're expecting to have the best run for this year. And then tech stocks afterwards. We'll have to see how that plays out at the end of the year or the beginning of the, we normally do our review at the beginning of the year. All right. And let me show you guys this one last one here because I had to extend it. They said which industries sector will perform worse in the next 12 months? Well, they got utilities worse, technology after that, then energy, and then it goes back up, right? So utilities, they're not liking utilities. Here go the favorite stocks: Apple, JP Morgan, Amazon, Citi, Facebook, Freeport, GE, Microsoft. These again, this is smart money. This is what they're looking at. These are their favorite stock picks, okay? This is not Pierre's stock picks. These are the big money guys, all right? So we're just paying attention to what big money's doing. Name the stock that you consider most overvalued. Okay, most overvalued, Tesla. And y'all know Kathy Wood, she's been pumping that like crazy, but she's selling that shit like crazy now. GameStop, Facebook, okay, Snowflake, Zoom. Okay, that's interesting. Zoom popped because of the lockdown economy. I guess maybe they're figuring the economy is going to be opening back up. So therefore, Zoom is going to have to correct. Predict the levels. Okay, Bitcoin. They got a $48,000 target on Bitcoin, which we're at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin in a second. We're at 48,000 on Bitcoin right now. They're saying December 31st, that's what Bitcoin is going to be. I don't know, man. I was taking a look at JC here, who was talking about Bitcoin set up to pull back to 30,000, which he tweeted out today. So JC the God has a pullback on Bitcoin at 30,000. I've never seen him that pessimistic on Bitcoin. It's actually pretty optimistic on gold with an 1820 target, which I think that's interesting because, you know, that's JC the God, super huge risk taker. Anyway, GDP, this is the growth right here. Majority of the participants are aiming at 6 to 7% GDP growth this year, but 2022, a pullback down to 3%. So we're looking at GDP to spike artificially and then come back down. All right. And then the inflation rate at the end, the year end of 2021 and 2022, 2.5%. Okay, so this is what they're expecting inflation to be at the end of the year. We're at 2.6 right now, so we'll have to see how that plays out. We do got a little, a couple of people that's saying 3.0 right here. This is the next level, 19 and 17. So we'll have to see how this plays out because there's a huge debate right now about inflation versus deflation. The dollar, will the US dollar index strengthen, weaken, or stay the same in the next 12 months? Majority of the participants said the US dollar is going to weaken. This is the red. Then the next says strengthen. Okay. And then this small amount says no change. When you take a look at the dollar is looking like a mess. And do you approve of the federal government's response to the COVID pandemic? Most of them says yes. How concerned are you about the federal debt? Extremely worried is the smallest amount. Modestly concerned. So 54% of people are concerned about the U.S. federal debt. But Jerome Powell don't give a damn. And the government don't either. How would you grade the performance of President Joe Biden so far? I mean, he just got in, so I don't really think it's much to really grade him on. But he's definitely going into a direction right now that, again, it's not going to be good. So there you got it. Majority of the people saying a B, they give him a B right here. So he's like a B or a D. Excuse me, a B, C, or D. That's in the middle. All right. It's still too early. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at what's coming down the pipeline this week. Okay. Again, we got earnings. We're in earnings season. I'm not the best predictor in earnings season because earnings can make things crazy. But what I like to look at for earnings right now and what I'm paying attention to is inflation. I want to hear these companies' thoughts about, well, not even just thoughts, but about inflation, how it's impacting their businesses, so I can get a little more insight on the future. Okay. That's what I'm basically looking for. So for Monday, we got Ameriprise Financial, Cadence Design Systems, NXP Semiconductors, Otis Worldwide, SBA Communications, and Tesla release earnings. Okay. All right. Tuesday, we got 3M, we got AMD, we got Google, we got Amgen, we got Capital One, Eli Lilly, General Electric, Invesco, Microsoft, MSCI, Mondelez International, Raytheon, Starbucks, Texas Instruments, UPS, and Visa. So Tuesday looks like it's going to be action-packed dynamite. Wednesday, we got Apple, ADP, Boeing, CME, eBay, Equinix, Facebook, Ford, General Dynamics, Humana, Moody's, Norfolk Southern, Qualcomm, Shopify, and Yum Brands. This is going to be another big day because you got Apple that's in there. All right. Then Thursday, we have Altria, we have Amazon, we have American Tower, Bristol Myers Squibb, Caterpillar, Comcast, Hershey, Intercontinental Exchange, Kraft Heinz, MasterCard, McDonald's, Merck, Newmont, Northrop Grumman, S&P Global, Thermo Fisher Scientific, and Twitter. This is going to be a big week, guys. So again, we got Apple. So we got Apple on Wednesday. We got Amazon on Thursday. Yeah, big boys. And we got Google on Tuesday. And then on Friday, we got AbbVie, CBOE, Charter, Chevron, Colgate, Exxon, Weyerhaeuser. So Friday is going to be pretty light. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to be a lot of action because of earnings. Thank you, Topaz, for posting that calendar as well. All right. That's how we get it in. That's so you guys know what's coming down the pipeline. When you got the big boys that's driving the markets, okay? Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple, you know, those companies, they've been driving the market. So everybody's paying attention to them and what way they move, that's where the market is going to be moving. So make sure we pay attention to that. With that being said, let's roll over here to the markets real quick. We got the ES real top heavy up here. All right. This 1618 target that I got, I can just go back to show you how we got this target. Let me show you guys how we do this Fibonacci work here, okay? So this is how we get that target. I'm gonna switch over to yellow for you. We take the swing from the high, this high, to that low, okay? And we project up here. This is the 1618. So the markets are extended. Now, JP Morgan, their brilliant analysts, have a target at 4,400 at the end of the year. So that's why I had this marker here, because we could go to that level. So that just lets me know where's Wall Street at on this. Okay, but right now we're top heavy. You know, we're in the overbought territory. But remember, when it's in overbought territory, it can play there for a while. So it doesn't mean that we're going to get a pullback yet. But depending on these earnings, we could definitely see that. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. All right, NASDAQ look like it's got some more space to come up here versus the S&P 500. All right, the 1272 extension at 14,361. First target. Okay, so we still can hit this, and then we still have another target right here. We just rounded up to 15,000. And yeah, I can definitely see that being realistic. And because we're so close, the markets will definitely like to squeeze up to that number. The Russell was actually the only thing that was positive, but it was like, you know, barely doing anything. Okay. But it looked like it's starting to form. It's got a little diamond, little formation up in here. We'll see how that might play out. But it's pretty steady. All right. The Russell is pretty steady here. All right. So if we're looking at valuations, I mean, this right here look like a place that investors would more than likely buy into versus the other ones, because at least it's not at its, you know, all-time high. It's a little lower. Okay. So that's the Russell. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick for you guys. Whew, Lord have mercy. Michael Myers over here, Jason Voorhees with it. Okay. Yeah, this is Bitcoin. I told you guys that the past weeks. I know everybody's going crazy, but I said, if you don't have the stomach for Bitcoin, man, don't even ask me no questions about it. All right. Don't ask me no questions. This thing right here is a roller coaster ride. Okay. Boom. Hit that high 65. Bingo. 28%. Was it negative 27 from that high, from the high? I mean, it's in a bear market territory. Now, the interesting thing, like I said, JC to God is aiming at 30,000. That is extremely pessimistic. And I don't know why he's so pessimistic, but I mean, geez Louise, I'm not even seeing that, you know, again, when I take it from this high, this low to this high, and we project, I can get, you know, $46,000 first floor, second floor right here around 40,000. Even the 100 moving average, if I wasn't even to use the Fibonacci, just the 100 moving average is around 45,000. So that's where I'm aiming at. But again, we got some of the big whiz that's calling 30,000 on Bitcoin. Sheesh. Yeah, that's a lot of pain right there. So let's keep that in mind. Now, that's definitely a possibility right now. Let's take a look at oil real quick. Oil is chopping around in here. Okay. We got the Goldman Sachs target that's still on here at $65. That target is still there. Price is still under that. So that means we still got some leg room to go higher. And we just saw the article about shortages in oil. Okay. We hit this 50. The 50 held. Price is still trading above that 50. So I think we'll still come back up. So, definitely the oil markets, I believe, will, you know, be positive. Gold. Let's take a look at gold real quick. You know, this has definitely been a commodities market. Commodities have been rocking here because, you know, demand is crazy. People want, again, like I said, people don't want money. You want what money can buy. You want goods and services. Who's producing it? There's a shortage. We got supply chain shortages. It's real crazy right now. So I know JC to God, he also has this 1820 target. I've seen other people with about 1850. So their targets are about right here. But I'm not as optimistic as they are yet. I'll say yet is because this 100 moving average is still here. This is a key, this blue line here. And we can see price tap that, and price is starting to get a little weak. It is in the overbought territory. This is clearly a floor right here. I can see the formation. You can see the formation just like this, that double bottoms in there. come hit this 100. Question is, will it, correct or go higher? Because my high target on here is around 1850. Okay, we got the 618 retracement right there. That's right aligned with the 200 moving average. Move some of that so you guys can see it. That's this line here. That's my up head target. Okay, but they got an 1820 in here. We'll have to see how it goes, man, because gold has been highly manipulated, hasn't been operating the way that we've been anticipating. So we'll see. Because of this major resistance up ahead, I'm not as optimistic yet. Silver the same way. Silver is I think in a better position than gold. Silver is more used than gold for certain things. It's a lot of things that people need, electronics and stuff like that. That's going crazy high right now. And so silver is trading above its moving averages in here. And so, but again, we got some down arrows in here. We're seeing the stochastics is going downward. So again, I'm not as optimistic on it just yet. One thing that I'm definitely not optimistic on will be the US dollar. So the US dollar, this is how it's looking right now. All right. So the US dollar, this floor, clear. All right. Boom. 200 moving average, that resistance, rejection. So we're seeing a dollar fall. Okay. Now, normally as the dollar continues to fall, we should see equities move up. Stocks should go up, but maybe gold will go up. I don't know, but I do believe that the dollar will continue to fall. Okay. And we just saw that also in that Barron's pick that you guys just saw. All right. So with that being said, you guys got a couple of names that you want to take a look at, and then we'll bring the session to a close. Let's see what you guys saying in the chat. Pullback 38. So Topaz got a 38,000 pullback on Bitcoin. Jeez, you guys are screaming death for Bitcoin right now, huh? Hope US been in debt forever. Yep, big week's earnings. Everybody and your mom. Okay, just posted earnings. Thank you. Okay, fib. Yeah, drew the fib from the bottom to the top. Yeah, we can do the fib and actually different ways depending on which direction we're going to. So it's the time we do from the bottom to the top, to the top to the bottom. SXI, Goldman Sachs, GPS, Baidu, MDB. All right, so let's get it. SXI. You know what? I want to show you guys something real quick too. While I load this up here, because we talk about food, right? We talk about inflation. I don't know if you guys been to the grocery store. I don't really go as much these days because the wife, she just be ordering the food and they just deliver it to the house. But to take a look at some good food stocks, And again, we talk about doing the little groups. But I'm going to just show you guys this real quick and think and swim. You can go to your scan section up here, and I already got some values in here, but I'm just going to make this for you guys real quick. We're going to go to industry. We're going to go to consumer staples. Let's see. And then we're going to go to food products. Go to packaged foods and meats. All right. So go to packaged foods and meats. All right. And we're going to take off some of these here. All right. Bingo. These food stocks right here. Okay. You want to play the food game with inflation going up. Everything is going crazy, sky high right now. This is a little scan here, a little watch list that you guys can take. And what I'll do, excuse me with the phone right there, but what I'll do is I'll actually just share this scan with you guys real quick. And what we'll do is actually, let me actually save it first. All right. Full scan. Okay. Food stocks. I'm going to save this real quick. And then what I'll do is share that with you guys. All right. So if you want to make some money off the rising prices of foods, get your money back from the grocery store. All right. Get your money back from that. I'm going to share this with you guys. And I just built that scan right in front of you. So you already know what time it is. You can do further analysis on that. All right. So y'all can have that scan in your Thinkorswim platform. All right. So Standex International Corporation. Definitely like the chart on here. I mean, you can look at it and tell that it's going pretty good. The floor solidified right here to 23.6. You can see we have some targets in here, some triggers that saying, hey, buy, get in now. It's a little mixed up in there a little bit, but at the same time, I like this to the bullish side. Okay, so whoever said the SXI, Terry, I do like that bullish. Dustin, Goldman Sachs, we talked about this before. Again, it depends on your time horizon, how you're looking at this. You look for a short-term play or long-term play. As far as the long-term play, again, just taking a look from this swing high to this low, we have a target up here at the 127.2 at 367. All right. So you're right here right now. And what our Fibonacci is telling us is that this is a target zone to get out. We're in a squeeze on this thing right here. We have a buy trigger that's going upwards. The trend is not participating, so we can't count that. But we do have a squeeze in here. We got some stochastics that's going up. We got a buy trigger in here. So I'm bullish for all of those reasons. And we just saw in the Barron's big money poll, the big money, they're, looking at financials to continue to move higher. They're actually looking at financials to move, to be the best movers of this year. Goldman Sachs will be a part of that. Then we got GPS, Gap. All right. So we got the Gap, got some clothing companies, people going shopping. Okay, I guess you got to get some new wardrobe popping off. You're going out nowadays. You're not on lockdown anymore. So the Gap seems like, it's going to continue to go a little higher. Now it's right here at the target, 34.68. But it could continue to go a little higher. It can bleed up to the 36.87 target on here. Overall, I mean, again, the prices are trading above all the moving averages, so it is bullish. And it's crazy, man. I think it was last year when I posted on Facebook for you guys about the stock Crocs. This is crazy, right? The clothing company. So check this out, okay? Crocs. This is how I knew Crocs was a winner, okay? Now, again, I called Crocs. This was a year ago, back when it was, let's see, $30. It was around $30. Yep, right here. As soon as it cleared down here, all right? So, boom, got in Crocs right here. Look where Crocs is at today, all right? I don't own a pair of Crocs, but everybody in my household owns a pair of Crocs, okay? But the thing that was crazy, what made me pay attention to Crocs was, my brother and all of them, right? I saw the gangsters wearing Crocs, okay? So when the gangsters came up, visit the homies, and the gangsters is rocking Crocs. I was like, whoa, hold up, B. We got gangsters rocking Crocs now? Let me go pull up my Thinkorswim real quick and look at that chart. I saw the move right in there, okay? This is how you align your fundamentals, your technicals. In real life, all stars in alignment. It's a no-brainer for me. So when I posted on Facebook, I was like, yeah, this is it, all right? Yeah, Justin Bieber got the line. I saw that. But anyway, when you take a look at this, look how it bounced right here, the 100. Come up, boom, reject at the 786, boom, bounce off the 100 again. Got a buy trigger in there and is bleeding through that 786. Got a $90 target on that. Long squeeze, I hate long squeezes. Got earnings coming up, so this is going to be an earnings play. I think earnings is on the 27th for this stock here. So depending on what their earnings do, that's what's going to cause this thing to move. So it could go down, but I don't see this thing going down. I see it going up, at least to that $90 target. All right. What else did you guys have on the radar? Baidu. Okay. So you guys know, man, on the website, in the chat room every day, man, my man, Ron D, Jonathan, Mark, Terry, a lot of you guys are in there every day. Topaz come through, bless us sometime. Keith, my man, Chastain, he be in there. Make sure y'all check out the live chat room 24/7. It's free. All right. So get in there, cut up a fool or whatever. These are tools that I built for you guys. So, let's see, Baidu. Anyway, in the chat, we've been talking about Chinese stocks. I know Jonathan and Ron, they've been having dialogue about these Chinese stocks. So this is a crazy play right here. All right. So this crazy play right here. For one, we got a squeeze in here. All right. We got the trend that's going up. Stochastics jumping up. Price is actually under the 100 moving average. All right. We can see that right here. And we see it fall from grace. Boom. Came up. Boom. It's been falling from grace. Boom. All right. But from this low to that low, we have higher lows, right? And it looked like it's trying to make higher highs by breaking out from this resistance right here. Okay. So I think we may be, a little premature, but as long as it clears this 100, I'm good. You feel me? Because then we'll go back to the north side. All right. These Chinese companies, they've been doing their thing. Their government has been trying to wreck them. We saw Alibaba They got, wrecked, but they just paid a little fine. They're like, man, we would paid a couple, it was like $2.3 billion or something like that. They just brush it off like it ain't nothing. You feel me? And if you know Alibaba, that's like the Amazon of China, they're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? What's interesting is that they had Jack Ma, because he went missing, but we just saw that he's alive. At least we think he's alive. It could have been a clone. Who knows? But for his ant group, the ant group that's been trying to go public, they are trying to force Jack Ma to sell his stake so they can go public. Okay. So that's an interesting development as well that we'll see. Maybe Topaz will drop something in the IPO section if she find anything else out on that. So here we go. MDB, MongoDB. Okay. This is a good one here. This is one of Ron's inverse head and shoulder plays, right? You can just take a look at the chart and you can see the setup. That's what I like about Ron. Ron be coming through with the setups. You feel me? Boom, shoulder, head, boom, shoulder, bingo. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a play like that. The momentum is starting a little shift off on this though. So we definitely want to pay attention to that. You can see the momentum starting to shift here. It ain't cleared this 100 yet. All right. So just, pay attention to that. When we take a look, if we go look back here, the momentum died right there. We saw the price shift. We take a look at the past here, the momentum died there, price shifted. Okay. Even back here, momentum died, price shifted. So we see the momentum starting to shift a little bit. So this might not be the entry point on this. All right. It might not be the entry point on it just yet. So not for me. If it cleared at 100, then yeah. But, still good stock. MongoDB. In fact, I think we use that with data analysts in my data science stuff, my data science classes. XBI is the biotech sector. Okay. I think Dustin has been having a nice focus on these healthcare and biotech stock companies. I like the chart though. The 200 moving average floor definitely has been secured. We got that drop here, that drop there. The drop here is held. We got a buy trigger that's in here. The risk is that 100 moving average is up ahead, but it's got to squeeze. Momentum is going higher. It could get pushed through that level. So I do actually like that for the positive side, Dustin. CRSP. All right. And this is another similar situation. 200 moving average floor. Okay. It's getting compressed in between that 100 moving average. It's going to have to make a decision. Okay. It's in a squeeze. It's letting us know it's going to have to break down or it's going to have to break up. Okay. Squeezing. All right. I am under the impression that this thing will probably, be bullish. So we'll see though, but I don't really have a direction on it yet. I just know it's going to have to make a decision here soon. If we take a look at this pattern from here, coming down here just like that, maybe the pattern looks like that. That looks like a pattern to me. So, all right. And Snap had a nice head and shoulders. Okay, Snap. Okay, there you go. There y'all go with the pattern. So y'all getting good, man. Y'all getting real good. Y'all calling out the patterns. All right. All right. And bingo. There you go. But yeah, pay attention to that momentum down there. And they got this earnings. Okay, so they already cleared that. And then we got the momentum that's starting to shift downward, though. The trend starting to shift downward. Might not be the time just yet. Oh, your PLBY, Chris? Okay. All right, Chris. All right. I'm not even gonna spill the beans on that one because some people got cut up on this thing. The PLBY trying to short it. This long candlestick, and again, seemed like a solid, play, to your defense. Okay. The market is crazy right now, though. When you get a candlestick like this, all right, and then it gaps up even higher like this, I think the move was to try to short it. Okay. I don't know if you try to short it before then or not, but that's what was supposed to happen. And then, the market knows who's all these people are shorting. The big boys come in and start to buy it up to start to rip your head off. So that's a tough one. For me, I would just go ahead and scrap that, take that L and move on so you can have a peace of mind because there's a lot of manipulation that could go on in here if you keep on trying to play it. I would just scrap that, take that L and just move on with my life. I can't have those stress troubles. All right, Jonathan, last one. All right, Palantir. Yeah, so scraping down here at the bottom. All right, we got it scraping. We got a bottom scraper down here. All right, that point, this point. All right, it's chopping sideways though. So it's chopping sideways. I don't know if it'll have a catalyst that'll make it move higher. It's got a squeeze in there, so maybe. But the trend is moving down, so I'm getting some divergences in here. Stochastics is moving up, and I got a buy trigger in here. And you know, for me, I would say this was probably going to continue to move sideways. We see like moving like this, and that 618 right there, possibly a high. So you know, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to clock a butterfly play or something like that. And maybe you could try to tap that target at 618 at 2637. You know, I'm not too sure if it's ready to blow out yet, just because we get some mixed signals on that thing. So, but yeah, I think it probably move chop some more sideways. Other than that, man, it's been a pleasure serving you guys here today. I think we had a pretty great session. I got to get this edits and stuff like that out here for you guys. Again, I can't say it enough. Make sure you guys are on the website. Just come by, stop in the chat room, okay? See the little bubble? I just click on the little bubble chat room. If you see that little bubble, that means that you have access. You can jump into the chat room. It's free. Just click on there, bingo. And we're in there. Again, I'm talking about playing the Xbox and watching Mortal Kombat in there. So you don't have to be such a super nerd. Any questions you have, network with your people, network with each other. But it's right here on the website, okay? So again, check it out. Make sure you guys are in there daily so we can continue to kill this game. All right, so with that being said, you guys have a great night. We'll catch up in the markets tomorrow. Peace.